Hello and welcome to another video. This is going to be spending a bookish day together, but it's not going to be quite cozy because we're going to head to a cemetery or a graveyard, whichever you want to call it, and read a book that's set in a graveyard / cemetery, because I thought, why not? Now today is perfect weather, so it's dry, but it's very overcast, it's very grey, it's quite misty and murky, so it's perfect to go and sit in the graveyard. And whilst there, we're going to read this. So it's only about 108 pages, so it's only short. So this is by M.L. Rio, who is the author of We Are Villains, and I absolutely loved that book. This one, I don't really know much about it. I'm going to go in blind, which I think is perfect. I'm sorry about lighting, it's making me look like I've got like black lipstick stuff on. I haven't got anything on. It's bad lighting. Yeah, so I'm not really 100% sure what this is about. I don't really want to know. I want to go in very blind, but all I know is that it's set in a graveyard on an October evening, and I reckon it'll be perfect to read. And then once I've finished that, I'm going to read this. I'm going to give Grady Hendrix another try. This one is the Final Girl Support Group, which is following Lynette Tarkenton, who survived a massacre 22 years ago. She's now part of this support group with a bunch of girls who have all, survived something. And then someone comes along and wants to rip their lives apart again. And that's all I know. Again, don't know too much about it. I tend to not want to know too much about horror books. I just want to dive in, see how it goes. So those are the two books that we're taking with us today. I'm going to head over, I'm just going to go to like the little Tesco Express. I'm going to get something that I can have at lunchtime, and then I'm going to try and find something like a nice baked treat. I think it would be quite nice to take. And also they do have like a Costa machine there, which is not the same as going to an actual Costa, but it will do. It will do. So then I will head over to the cemetery, and it's quite a good cemetery to go to as well, because there is a bookish theme to that cemetery, which I'm not going to say about now, but I will show you. I will show you, and it's pretty cool cemetery, to be honest. Yeah, but I'll keep that quiet. Let's just get on with our day. It's just coming up to 9:30. I'm now ready to head out the door. We're going to stop off, obviously, to get the lunch bits and things like that, drinks, and then we are going to head straight to the cemetery and make a start on our first book of the day, which I'm really excited for. Hello, so I finished this, The Graveyard Shift by M.L. Rio. I've just got into the car. It's just started raining as well. I didn't spend the whole time reading this in the graveyard. I did spend the majority of it in the car, purely because my anxiety about people I couldn't care less if there was a ghost sat next to me, but a person coming into the graveyard whilst I was sat there reading just wasn't a great idea for me. So I was getting a bit anxious about it, so I decided to come and sit in the car. But I have finished this book. I did enjoy it. So I absolutely loved We Are Villains, which is obviously a proper novel, over 300 pages, and it's very dark academia. This is only 108 pages, this book, and it's very, what's the word? I mean, so basically it starts off, you've got 5 friends who always meet in the graveyard. They all live pretty much around the campus of this university, and they all have like the what they call graveyard shift. So none of them really sleep very well, and they all have jobs where they're working at night. So just before they go to their jobs, they kind of sit or like hang out at this graveyard, which kind of seems to be in the center, and they all just sit there, get together. Anyway, one day they notice that there's this hole in the ground, like a grave has been dug, and this graveyard has been not used for about 100 years. So they're like, well, what's this about? And yeah, they kind of, so they then, 2 of them just stay behind a little bit, and they realise that the gravedigger has come back. So they decide to follow the gravedigger, and then the whole group kind of gets involved to solve the mystery of what's been happening in this very small town. I don't know whether it's like a town or whether it's just like the student campus at this university. I'm not really sure, but they're kind of trying to figure out what has happened. And yeah, it's a very, the start of this book is very great. Like, it's very much, you know, the writing, it's all gloomy and eerie and perfect for this time of year. But then as the time goes on, I kind of feel like we kind of lose a bit of that, because we're working out what the mystery is and why this gravedigger is digging a grave when it hasn't had a grave dug in about 100 years. So I don't know, I did really enjoy it. I didn't love it though. I kind of feel like this could be so much longer. You've got these 5 characters and you just start to know these characters. I just think, you know, when it's a novella, you don't kind of get to know the characters enough. You don't get to follow the story enough. So I struggle with novellas a little bit because of that. This could easily be so much longer. It really could. Anyway, so I've read it. I think I'm going to give it 4 stars. So I did really enjoy it. I just wish that it was longer and there was more to it and more fleshed out. So the plan is to... Okay, I do have a ghost app on my phone. I might just go a little bit into the graveyard because it's now raining. See if I can try using that. I might do that. Then I'm going to head off somewhere else to have my lunch. I've brought, like, obviously my picnic lunch with me. I've got my very, very thick coat on because it was a bit chilly. So yeah, I'm going to go somewhere else though to have my lunch, and then might have a stroll, like a little walk if the rain stops. But I am thinking I might head to a couple of charity shops because I won £21 in a pub quiz the other day. So I thought maybe I could go to a charity shop and see how many books I could get with £21. So we shall see. But I'm going to... I think it's raining too much. I might just stand under this tree, use the ghost app and have a look, and then I'll head off to go to the next spot where I want to have my lunch, try and have a little stroll. I think it's just a shower, and then possibly go to a couple of charity shops and see what I can find. Hello, so we're now in a different part of the New Forest, and the plan is to eat my lunch here and then go for a little stroll. As you can see by my last clip, it was absolutely hammering down with rain and I couldn't get out to do the ghost app. So I didn't get to do that in the cemetery, but I'm hoping I can do a bit of a walk here. So I'm at a place called Wilverley Plain in the New Forest, which is obviously quite popular, but there is like a public toilet here. It is just a shed pretty much in the forest, but it's a proper working toilet. So, you know, it's fine. What's that noise? Oh, it must be a plane. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to try and go for a little walk after I've eaten. You might have noticed from one of the clips in the cemetery that I zoomed in on a gravestone. It is actually the grave of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who was the author of the Sherlock Holmes books. If you ever do want to go and see him, I think it's called All Saints Church in Minstead, which is like a village in the New Forest. And his grave's there, and I thought it would be really cool to go to that cemetery in particular because I obviously know that his grave's there. And it's still bookish because he was a fantastic author and a well-known author. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna have some lunch now, eat my sandwich and that, and then it's gonna start raining again. Hopefully the rain stops and I'm gonna have a little stroll. That's the plan. Hello, so we're back home now and we're going to do a book haul because I went to 2 charity shops. Well, I went to more than 2 actually. I think I went to about 5 in total, but I only bought books from 2. I'm excited to show you what I got. So 8 books in total. It came to about £13. So brilliant. 3 of these books are definitely going on the October TBR. They're all books that I've heard amazing things about and have had on the radar. So let's just dive straight into them. So I just had to go and maneuver Leo. So let's get into it now. Okay, so let's start with the 3 that are going on the October TBR that I'm super excited about. So first of all, we have Hidden Pictures by Jason. Is that Wikulak? Okay, this one has like illustrations in it as well, which look amazing and terrifying. So we've got like illustrations throughout this book. Okay, so, and like creepy ass kids drawings. Okay, so yeah, I'm not 100% sure exactly what this one is about, but obviously it was everywhere. It's meant to be a very well-known horror book. So we're following Mallory and she's delighted to have a new job looking after gorgeous 5-year-old Teddy. She's been sober for a year and a half and she's sure her new nannying role in the affluent suburbs will help keep her on the straight and narrow. That is until Teddy starts to draw disturbing pictures of his imaginary friend, Anya. It is quite clear to Mallory and to Teddy's parents, even in his crude, childlike style, that the woman Teddy is drawing in his pictures is dead. Teddy's crayons are confiscated and his paper locked away, but the drawings somehow keep coming, telling a frightening story of a woman murdered, and they get more sophisticated. But if Teddy isn't drawing the pictures anymore, who is? And what are they trying to tell Mallory about her new home? So yeah, it sounds absolutely terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. So definitely on the October TBR now as well. Then we have Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. This one's a bit damaged at the edge, but it's fine. It's fine. It costs what, £1.29. This one as well has spooky pictures in it as well. Very, very creepy pictures. This one is set on a mysterious island and it's got an abandoned orphanage. And there's a strange collection of peculiar photographs. So it says here, it all waits to be discovered in Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, an an unforgettable novel that mixes fiction and photography in a thrilling reading experience. As our story opens, a horrific family tragedy sets 16-year-old Jacob journeying to a remote island off the coast of Wales, where he discovers the crumbling ruins of Miss Peregrine's home for peculiar children. As Jacob explores its decaying bedrooms and hallways, it becomes clear that Miss Peregrine's children were more than just peculiar. They may have been dangerous. They may have been quarantined on a deserted island for good reason. And somehow, impossible though it seems, they may still be alive. So, another really creepy, very creepy story with creepy images throughout as well. And the last one, which I'm so excited I've got, it's The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. I've been wanting to read this for so long. This one is basically says on the back, born on the fringes of Bethel, Emmanuel does her best to obey the church and follow holy protocol. For it was in Bethel that the first prophet pursued and killed 4 powerful witches and so cleansed the land. And then a chance encounter lures her into the dark wood that surrounds Bethel. It is a forbidden place haunted by the spirits of the witches who bestow an extraordinary gift on Emmanuel, the diary of her dead mother. Fascinated by and fearful of the secrets the diary reveals, Emmanuel begins to understand the truth about her own upbringing, the prophets, and their history. For the real threat to Bethel is its own darkness. It must change. And that change will begin with her. So this is apparently a slow burn horror that obviously has, witchy vibes to it. And yeah, excited for this as well. I've been meaning to pick up all 3 of these books for such a long time, so I'm so glad that I've got these. So definitely going on to the TBR for this month. And then I have 5 other books which I've seen around quite a bit, and I thought I would just pick them up. So we've got Wonder, which, do you know what, I really don't actually have a clue what this is about. This is meant to be like quite a moving story. I have no idea what it's about, and I think it's, do you know what, I can't even begin to just tell you what it is. There's no blurb to it, but obviously this was everywhere, and it kind of, lots of people talking about it. It just basically says that it's a terrific story, a powerful read, tremendously moving. And I don't really know anything about it. I know that it's like first person narrative. On the first page, it's first person narrative following a 10-year-old. So I have no idea what it's about, but seen it around loads of places. So yeah. And then we've got Murder on Lake Garda by Tom Hindle, which again I saw loads of places. Around loads of places. It's only come out this year, so to pick this up for £2.49 at Oxfam Bookshop is brilliant. I suppose it's not that long ago this came out as well, so I think this is probably going to be a bit of more of a cozy mystery. I'm not really sure. I think it's like a bit more of like a locked room mystery, kind of like Agatha Christie style, and yeah, it's a locked room mystery, it says on here. I reckon it's going to be probably not fully cozy mystery, possibly. I kind of feel like I want to read this in November. And yeah, like I said, this only came out this year, so I'm really pleased to pick this up because I'd seen it it was on my radar of possibly picking this up. And yeah, I came across it in the charity shops. I thought, why ever not? Let's get that. So another one that I'm looking forward to. Then we've got Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, which I think is going to be perfect to read this winter. This is obviously the classic that's set on the bleak Yorkshire moors. What is this version? This is the Penguin Classics. I mean, there's a little bit of damage there, but hardly anything, is it, really, in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, this is meant to be obviously quite bleak and dreary setting, and I reckon it's going to be perfect for winter, so I'm going to pick that up in the winter. Then we have The Lost Bookshop by Evie Woods, which I kind of saw here, there and everywhere when it came out. So this only came out last year. I swear it was like towards the end of last year as well, so not even quite a whole year since this came out, and it's set in Dublin, Ireland. and it's a little bookshop, and I think it's going to be like a bit of like a fantasy magical. So it just basically says, on a quiet street in Dublin, a lost bookshop is waiting to be found. For too long, Opaline, Martha and Henry have been the side characters in their own lives. But when a vanishing bookshop casts its spell, these three unsuspected strangers will discover their own stories are every bit as extraordinary as the ones found in the pages of their beloved books. By unlocking the secrets of the shelves, they find themselves transported to a world of wonder where nothing is as it seems. So yeah, again, this is another one that I'd seen good things about. I've seen it everywhere, had undenied about getting it last year, so I'm really pleased I picked it up now. And the last one is The Burning Girls by C.J. Tudor. C.J. Tudor is, you know, the perfect sort of author to go to for, you know, your thrillery, murder mystery type of books. This one is a small town, a dark past, a dangerous present. I'm just going to go in blind with this one. I don't think I need to know what it's about. Obviously, it's a C.J. Tudor book, so I think it's going to be, you know, a quick read. But this one is meant to be apparently quite creepy and intense. So another one that I definitely want to read this winter. So yeah, basically, a lot of fantastic books. A lot of fantastic books that I'm so pleased that I picked up. 3 of them going on to my TBR for this month. That's going to be exciting, very much so. So yeah, amazing books that I managed to pick up. All of these books for less than £13. Brilliant, really, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. I just want to do a quick book haul. So I have some. It's like in the fridge where you cut up, it's like the dough, cookie dough, and you kind of bake cakes. No, you don't bake cakes. You bake cookies from it. I've got, all you have to do is just cut it up, stick it in the oven. So I think I'm going to make those. I'm going to make a nice big steaming mug of tea, and then I'm going to sit down and read my next book, which is on my TBR, which is a Grady Hendrix Final Girl Support Group. That's it. So we're going to cozy up with our next read and with a steaming mug of tea. Is it coffee then? No, tea. And hopefully baking these cookies is going to make the house downstairs here all smell nice and cozy. I'm thinking about possibly lighting the fire as well in a bit, so I might do that as well. I'll have to go and chop some wood because we've got no kindling, but that's a good shout as well. So let's get cozy. Hello, so I've got to page 109 of this, sitting this afternoon with the cats, just making my way through it. I think it's going to be a good read. It's basically following Lynette, and she survived this massacre years ago, and she's part of this support group where there's like 5 or 6 of them, and they've all survived. They're like the final girl, called the final girl. So the sole survivor, the one that basically got away from some like serial killer or whatever it was for each individual girl. And we kind of see how much they desperately need each other's support, and they help each other. They've been going for like 16 years and they've helped each other through like the 9/11, through different mass shootings, lots of different things in America. They've helped themselves, like helped each other through it. And then one day we see that Lynette, we kind of see like a bit of an insight to her life now. So she has everything secure. Her house is completely, she lives in an apartment on the 3rd floor which is very secure. And then we see someone basically come after her, but not only her, the rest of the girls in this support group as well. And it's like a fight for survival all over again for them. And we're only at the very start of this. We don't really know much about who's doing this or why they're doing it, or anything like that. But it's just, it seems quite tense, and I'm liking it so far. It's the sort of quick read book. It's quite fast paced. So you kind of start flying through this quite quickly. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. But I thought I would round off, basically say thank you for watching now. Basically it's about 5:30, so we've spent a really good day sitting down in the cemetery and reading Graveyard Shift by Emma Rio, which I gave 4 stars. We've gone to the charity shops and did a book haul, because I managed to get quite a few books from the bookshop, from the charity shops. I couldn't film whilst I was in the charity shops, unfortunately. They're very, very small and there was a lot of people in there, so it wasn't ideal. I wasn't able to film in there, but I did show the book haul, so we've had that. I've baked some cookies, had a nice chill on the sofa with the cats, reading my next book, which is this. And now we're into the evening, so I'm going to watch a horror film. So pause back now. So we're going to have dinner. I'm just going to put that in the oven. So we'll have some dinner and then we're going to watch a horror film, which I'm not sure what one yet. I think I did find one, but now I've completely forgotten what it was. It's more like a slasher type horror, but I reckon it's going to be quite good. So yeah, we're going to watch that this evening and have a chilled evening. So it's been quite a chilled day and it's been quite nice also being out and about. I'm sad that I didn't really get a proper walk in earlier, but we should be going on a walk tomorrow. So at least that's one walk this weekend. So that's what we're probably going to be doing tomorrow, I think. But yeah, I'm going to say bye now, but I will have some clips of this evening. I'll show what I'm basically watching and that sort of thing. So I'm making a cozy evening. I'm going to light the log burner in a bit as well, so it'll be all nice and cozy. So thank you so much for watching, and I will definitely be back soon with another video. Bye for now.